Folks, what the crap's going on? Welcome back to some more Total War Rome 2 action. HeirofCarthage here, and yes, courtesy again of our good friend Sol Invictus. Of course, check out his channel at the link in the description if you want for even more Rome 2 battles. We definitely appreciate him. He is going to be playing as Athens today. We've got a line of slingers up front, and then let's take a look at the infantry line from Athens. Now, Athens is a Greek faction. More Greek than, say, Alexandrian, of course. They're going to have a lot of hoplites at their disposal. They're going to have some shot cavalry and citizen cavalry, other units like that at their disposal. So let's take a look at what they've brought. I see some mercenary Thracian warriors is a cool touch here. Nice shock infantry on the flank. They are backed up by thorax hoplites, and if we take a look at this unit, it is pretty solid armor, good damage for a spear. Mediocre melee attack, but solid against cav, and, you know, nothing special in the charge. There's some mercenary veteran hoplites. Again, good spear damage, huge armor on these units, so very defensive. We got militia hoplites, which are probably going to be serving as kind of the interruptive units here. We've got picked hoplites for the general. Again, excellent spear damage, decent attack even, very solid armor, very good defense, so an overall pretty well-rounded unit. We've got a Hippeus Lancer. Hippeus Lancers can put on a pretty brutal charge if they're given the opportunity. We do have some thorax swords, which are kind of just like mediocre mid-tier swords that the Greek factions have access to. Then more mercenary Thracian warriors. So interesting army from Athens. Let's go check out the Lusitani. Now, pound for pound, the Lusitani are just going to be better in melee, depending on what they've brought. Veteran shield warriors ought to be pretty good, other than the fact that you get a lot of armor on hoplites, so it is possible sometimes that they might be able to outlast them. But if we take a look at the skirmishing here, holy mackerel, that is 6 slingers. 2 of them are Iberians, and it looks like 4 are Balearics. Wow. So 6 slingers, that is a huge investment into slingers. Can he protect it? He's got some Lusitani nobles, Scutari spearmen, Iberian swords right behind the slingers to throw some javelins, a line of veteran shield warriors, 4 of those, another noble. He's only got a couple of cavalry, 1 Iberian and 1 Scutari. I don't think he can guard these slingers. And you've got 4 units of cavalry on the field for Athens. I don't know. I mean, if Athens can't kill the slingers, they're going to get absolutely picked apart. And they're not going to do great in the melee against some of these units. But even if they did win, they'd get picked apart. Now, what Athens is going to have to do if they want to win is they're going to have to kill slingers. So they're going to really need to focus there. I would think, now we'll see what he decides to do, but I would think that Sol is going to push an engagement of some sort, because he can't stand back and take this kind of pummeling from range for too terribly long. So really curious here. I mean, that is such a heavy investment into a skirmish line, with very little way of protecting it from mobility. Now, spears and other things will do fine at protecting it from infantry, but spears can only move so fast. They're going to get outmaneuvered by cavalry at some point. Athens has a lot of numbers here, too. And if they put together a decent assault here, they could probably, get the Lusitani out of position and get some favorable odds. But if they lose their cavalry quick, then the Lusitani are likely to run away with this. All right, we're going to see some Balearic slingers being focused fired by 3 of the Athenian slingers. We've already got the harassment here from the cavalry. Nice job here getting the javelins out there from the guerrillas. Those units, remember, they're going to be able to ambush, so that might have been a sneaky ambush. But see this, where I say you can be outmaneuvered? Those cavalry are going to keep pushing here to try and keep those units at bay. The infantry's pushing up. Let's see where those slingers... The slingers are targeting on the Athenian slingers right now. The Athenian slingers have done some good damage to that Balearic slinger so far. You see Sol pulling back over here. He's taking a little damage. He's moving to overload the left flank of the Lusitani. You can see how he's kind of positioning his army to overload their left. We've got a thorax hoplite out here looking for an engagement against the Scutari spearmen and the guerrillas. That is not going to be a fight that goes well for the Lusitani. Nice charge by the citizen cavalry, but it really needs to make it to those slingers. The slingers are ripping fire into the citizens, and that's exactly what they should be doing. This Iberian cavalry needs to immediately move in this direction. You can see that Sol kind of moved back, trying to deny some of that skirmishing. It's going to cause the Lusitani to reposition, and he's hoping to probably knock this fight out relatively quick, but there's no way you're taking down that Lusitani noble quickly. Look at this, though. Man, the Iberians really got after that citizen cavalry, and that's paying dividends. Here comes the shot cavalry. The Iberian swords could wreck the shot cavalry, but the shot cavalry might wreck them as well. And it will. That is a brutal charge from the Hippeus Lancers. It's going to take out at least half of that unit. Looks like they're going to pull out of there and continue their charge. They just took a faceful from the Balearic Slingers. They're doing a lot of work already. This engagement not good so far for the Iberians, but again, I still see Slingers alive everywhere. So that's also not good. Look at this, though. Some of the Slingers already singled out over here. So this is where it could be the beginning of the end for the Lusitani. Their general is in over his head over here as well. Oh, that flank charge must have been brutal from those Thracian mercenaries, so that was brilliant. That was utterly brilliant. Yeah, turn around and get that charge right back into those veteran shield warriors, do some damage there. This is a really nice play over here by Sol to overload that flank, wear it down. Hippeus Lancers turned around after hitting some Slingers, turned right back into the Iberian swords, and they're no doubt going to go looking to kill more Slingers, given the opportunity. So now we're going to see some charges here from the Lusitani up the middle, but in the middle now it's not actually very favorable for the Lusitani. They're kind of outnumbered over here. Those veteran shield warriors are taking on the Thracians. The Thracians did excellent charge damage. The Lusitani are a little bit behind with these units, but again, a lot of Slingers over there still alive, but this side, the Slingers are going down. The Citizen Cavalry is going to pick up another unit of Balearics here. And I'm pretty sure that Athens is going to auto-win if they just keep the pressure on these Slingers. Because that early engagement, like, Sol actually came out pretty effective in that early engagement, despite the fact that there was a noble in there. See, there goes another unit. Lusitani is losing infantry, and there's a lot of armor left. Look at this kind of trade and switch here going on. Throwing the javelins with the swords, trading out for the hoplite, which is the more defensive unit. Lusitani didn't get the charge they need. So despite being peppered very heavily by Slingers over here, where's the Scutari Cav? I see a few of them. I don't know what these guys are doing. They're like spread out really funny somewhere. Okay, no, they've charged over here. They're trying to push the Citizen Cavalry back, I think. Yeah, it looks like they're chasing off the Citizen Cavalry. It's difficult to see where these two units are right now. I think they're fighting each other, but their flags are separated. But yeah, I mean, the Lusitani are quickly losing control of this fight. Look at this play, though. Iberian Cavalry, nice job getting back here and cleaning up some Slingers. The Slingers aren't really the problem for the Iberians, though. The problem is how many Slingers of their own that they've lost. Getting that Balearic back would be great. I don't know if it's going to happen. Yeah, the Lusitani have a big problem. They're out of position over here from the way that Sol repositioned. This Iberian cavalry is out of its league. It's about to get routed just by being surrounded. Yeah, there's the javelins coming in. These units are great at mopping up Slingers, but they don't want to get caught in any other kind of fight. Look at that Peltis just mow them down. Thorax Hoplite's going to close the back door on that, so nowhere to go. So no more mobility other than the Scutari Cavalry. 276 kills for the Lancer. That has been an effective unit on this battlefield. Look at that Athenian general, the picked hoplite. Getting some good kills here. Slinger's now focusing it down. That's not a bad call because it's pretty exposed at the moment. But look at this, the infantry now pressuring the back lines of the Lusitani. Here comes a Thorax Sword to hold the noble. And the Hippeus Lancers break through to the Slingers. That Scutari Cavalry was a little too far away. It's going to come try and make the save. But a nice play to keep on top of these Slingers. That one did come back, and they're going to start picking at the hoplite here, which is funny because that's a picked hoplite. I mean, I think Athens can pretty much roll this one up, but don't ever stop fighting. And you've got all these Slingers. That's 4 Slingers left. Get rid of the mobility from Athens. Kill off their mobility. You've got this Lusitani noble and a couple other infantry units to try and lean on. I don't know if there's enough ammo, but you can certainly put up a good shot at it, maybe. So yeah, the Hippeus Lancers are getting doused right now with Slinger fire. There's a Citizen Cavalry that's nearly dead. Even in these low numbers, they are dangerous to the Slingers because of the morale shock. Yeah, see that? They're being morale shocked, and then the Lusitani general died a long time ago. So again, even in those low numbers, very, very dangerous to the slingers. We're going to see the Athenian general getting really shot up here. The Lusitani noble going for the kill here. It's going to get outnumbered late in this game. This Scutari cavalry really needs to stay focused on the enemy cavalry, because these slingers are going to need every last bit of what's left. Instead, they're kind of charging headlong into a whole bunch of hoplites here. I'm not really sure what this charge was, what the reasoning was. Nice job here, ripping up the hoplites. Downside is the Lusitani noble is losing its numbers very quickly here. And it's just, this is not going to go well. It didn't want to fight these units. I almost, at that point, I would have kept the Scutari cavalry over here, kept the enemy cav away, and I would have just tried to not engage the Athenians at this point. And then just use up the rest of your range until you've picked away at them to a point where you think you can win. It would have been tricky because you didn't have a lot of nobles left, but I don't think the Lusitani can turn this one around at this point. Yeah, look at this. Like I said, low numbers, but again, the morale shock is going to be a problem. And then every time they charge, they're going to kill a few more slingers. And that means their ammo goes to their grave with them.
Riders at the double!
See, look at that. Morale shock on one. Here comes the charge on another. They're going to get hit in the rear. It's going to morale shock them. If this one routes, that could have morale impacts on the unit nearby, so that could get contagious very quickly. Lusitani nobles, meanwhile, are being shot up by the slingers from Athens that are still alive. Only one skirmish unit for Athens is completely off the battlefield. Now, these have taken damage. Looks like the Balearic slinger, or Iberian slingers, out of ammo. So it's possible that the Iberians just didn't have enough ammo to win in the way that I said. But yeah, I knew investing that heavily in the skirmish was either going to be a knockout or it was going to be a liability. In this case, it became a liability. A bloody fight, but a pretty sturdy victory there by Athens in the end. They've got a number of units left. But I mean, it wasn't without loss. But a good battle nonetheless from both players. Definitely appreciate Sol and Tane here. Take a look at some of the kill counts. I mean, that is a pretty good chunk of kills from that Lusitani noble. The Lusitani general, though, was wasted too early, and it didn't go well, and it was kind of downhill from there. Now, some of his slingers did get some work done. We picked up a chevron on 2 of them, so they didn't all go to waste, but a bunch of them got hit by cavalry. The Lusitani just needed better cover for their slingers. They just didn't have it. I don't even know if you can properly cover all those slingers. It's difficult to say because that's so many. I get the idea behind it. The Balearic slingers, that is tremendous killing power available to the Lusitani, but it has to be kept alive and had time to come to fruition. So pretty interesting fight. Sol, his Hippeus Lancers here, absolutely boss at 354 kills. 160 out of a citizen cavalry is also really quite amazing. So some pretty good performances from some of his units there, like this Thorax Sword did extremely well too for being a relatively cheap unit, picking up some chevronage. Anyway, hope you all enjoyed this one. HeirofCarthage signing out for now, and I will see you soon with some more action in Total War Rome 2.